Official Wrestling presents Curtain to Curtain. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first ever episode of Curtain to Curtain. This is a brand new series where myself, along with my fellow Few Good Markers, Pete
Heyo.
and Alex,
Hello.
are going to be talking about life in the professional wrestling industry and our goings on and our progressions and such forth. So we're going to start off with a little segment which is going to become a regular thing on a future podcast which is coming up soon. Ooh, intrigue. So what I've got everyone to do is to do the program bios. So this is like when you go to a WWE show and you buy the program, and it'll have the wrestler's name, any nicknames, where they're from, their height, and any finishes they'll have under their name. So that's all I want. Yeah, that's all I want for that right now. So we're going to start with let's start with Pete.
Okay, so I wrestle under the name of Azazel. I burn myself from Walton Hall. I stand at 5'8" with boots. Finishing moves I use are Curb Stomp, the Seth Rollins style one, and the End of Days, like Baron Corbin.
Nice, cool. Yeah, no nicknames or anything in the works. Or...
Nicknames, I think I'm going to start going with one, possibly the Dark Horse. Obviously, if you know what that kind of phrase means, it's someone who's a bit like an underdog, but someone who has potential. I think that was a nickname given to me by good old Mr. Lamb.
Jerry!
Yeah, he once said, while predicting everyone in LP class's futures, that he saw me as a dark horse. So it's a nice little callback.
That's cool. That's
I think
really
it's also
cool.
appropriate for the gimmick. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. Let's throw to Alex.
I wrestle under the name of Alexis Falcon. I'm from Hull in Yorkshire because I'm pretty much guaranteed heat.
That's
with that up here. I'm 5'4" with boots, 5'3" without. And I use the Boston Crab as the submission and the Sunset Split as my finisher, which is where I have you in like a reverse DDT, and then I do the splits in the air and then land on you in the splits.
Nice.
And then it goes into a pin from there.
Nice, sweet. I may as well do mine. I only do ring announcing and commentating, so my experiences differ from the other two guys, but I thought I'd do one anyway. I have done a bit of wrestling training, but I've taken a different path. So my ring name is James Moran. I just use my middle name instead of the full name. My nickname, I'm a ring announcer, I have a nickname, and what? Is the Voice in the North. I've kind of taken from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You know what surprised me when I first came up with that is how, I mean, maybe there are quite a few, but there aren't that many people who take inspiration off gimmicks from Game of Thrones. Like, the only I've seen Cyanide do something recently, but I really can't remember that many other people.
It's very rare.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a massively popular...
Maybe that's why they do it there, because it'd look a bit cliche.
Well, yeah, a little bit, but then there's oh well, fuck it. The Voice in the North. I'm from Liverpool. I'm 5'11" and a half. I'm so close to being 6 foot. Painful. It's painfully close. And my finisher, if I were to be a wrestler, would be a swinging fisherman's neckbreaker. Fisherman's hook neckbreaker, which is you go as if you were to get them into a fisherman's hook suplex, but instead of doing an actual suplex motion, you swing with your left shoulder out and spin around, and you keep hold of it.
I got pinned by one of them in a week.
So what do you mean the other week? That's my
Somebody
move.
pinned me with that move.
I call gimmick infringement. But yeah, so that's our program bios. That's cool. It's nice to know that works when we all pay attention. So I want to start talking. I want to start us off by talking about beginnings. It's our first episode. I just thought it'd be a nice call in. So I know most of Pete's, because for anyone, I would imagine this isn't common knowledge. But me and Pete have known each other now for 14 years.
Sounds about right.
I think that is about right, innit? 14 goddamn years. So I've grown up and I basically know more than I'm sure. No, that's a lie. I was going to say more than he knows about himself, but that's just not true. So I'm going to throw to Alex to start us off with your beginnings in professional wrestling.
Swerve.
Well, since been about 10, maybe earlier than that, I was a gymnast in Hull. And I did that for years, like absolute years.
What's your earliest memory of professional wrestling? Like watching
Doing it for me?
No, watching it wise.
Oh God. The days of Lita and Matt Hardy and
that early, that's cool.
Jeff Hardy. I was really, really little, and my mum banned me from watching it because she didn't like that the girls was really like provocative at the time I was watching it. You know, like when people had like the bra and panty days. Like, do you remember like Ashley and people like that? Like,
do I remember Ashley?
Like my mum hated it, but I really liked Lita because she never really was into that side.
No, she stood out as being different.
And Trish was like quite
the pros.
Thingy, and I used to watch like some of their stuff, and I used to go, Mum, I'm going to be a wrestler. And then one time I speared my dad and winded him, and then my mum banned me from watching it again, and she was like, right, that's it, wrestling isn't going to be on in this house anymore. And then I started watching it again around about the time where Jeff Hardy was at his peak.
Right, it's about 2008, 9 even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, that it was 9. Earlier than that.
Oh.
It was earlier than that. It was about 2006. Before I started high school, and I started high school in 2008. It was just before I started high school again. So I started watching it properly, like religiously then. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to be a wrestler. And then on my first day of year 7, my form tutor went round and went, what does everybody want to be when they grow up? And I went, I want to be a wrestler. And everybody laughed at me. And then when I started university, I found out about RWA, which was close to Liverpool where I'm studying, and I went over to RWA and checked it out, and I really enjoyed it. And I remember someone who was actually in my form messaged me on Twitter and said, hey, it's really cool now that you're actually being a wrestler. I remember when you said in year 7 that you wanted to be a wrestler, and I felt like turning around to him and saying, you bullied me for that. Because he did. He absolutely ripped the shit out of me and went, you're too ugly to be a wrestler. You won't be a wrestler. You need to have big boobs to be a wrestler. Because I was like a proper tomboy when I was at school. And then I felt like turning around to him and saying, well, fucking look at me now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's how I started. That's
cool. Yeah.
Watching it when I was little, finally starting, and then
I want Pete to tell us. I know this memory. I want Pete to tell us his earliest memory of wrestling.
Have I said this on a podcast before?
I don't think so.
Oh well, here we go. So I was introduced to wrestling by my brothers.
At what age?
Like toddler age, like 2 or something.
I love this story.
So my mum used to work nights, so in a house it'd be me, my 2 brothers, and my dad. And my dad just kind of let my brothers do what they want, I think. So what they did was they sat me down in front of like Monday Night Raw. And bear in mind, when I was 2, this was like 98, 99, so the height of the Attitude Era, when every match was bloody steel chairs to their heads. And and their plan was for, by the time I start nursery when I turned 3, that I was going to walk into nursery and stun every other kid and hit them with chairs. Sadly, I disappointed them. I was well behaved. I wasn't influenced by their ways.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. But yeah, like that. And I remember the first like wrestling games I had were WWF Warzone on like Nintendo 64 and PS1. And what was the other one? Oh, the WCW NWO Revenge one. And so that was how I kind of got introduced to it. And then like, I wasn't massively into it when I was a kid, but I kind of knew about it. And then I only started properly following it when I was about 10.
Yeah, I think we both kind of got into it together, didn't we? That was like a ping moment.
And then in terms of actually getting into it, because for ages, like, I looked at
we did CTW, didn't we?
Yeah.
We've done the podcast on previously. You wait till you hear that. That is a funny ass podcast.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah, we did CTW for years, and then I think it was around the time I was about 16. I saw Triple H's DVD that came out around then.
Yeah.
And that kind of motivated me, seeing that, to think, you know what, I'll actually try it properly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Croft
It was Croft.
found RWA and
Yeah.
suggested it to us. And January of 2014 was when I decided to start there. And
Mm-hmm.
well, I won't say the rest is history, but I've not exactly, made it. So
Well,
there we
that's
go.
the start. That's cool. I guess mine's kind of similar. I didn't really have much exposure to it until, I knew of it and there was bits here and there. I remember playing with, I think it was a Kane and a Mankind doll in my stepbrother's bedroom, and kept them turning to him every 5 seconds, saying, "What's this one called again?" And you had a Triple H and a Rock figure as well. I was playing with them. And then it wasn't until I think I was in year 6 when DX reformed.
Yeah,
and
that's
it got
when
big,
I started
and it got,
watching it again.
and it got big again. I remember a young lad coming in with the DX shirt, with the DX logo in the middle, with them crotch chopping in the front, and then on the back they were both mooning on the back, and my teacher told them off for it. But we all thought it was really cool. And then I remember The Undertaker and Mr. Kennedy First Blood feud, where he hit him over the head with the microphone and stuff like that. That was early memories. And then, and them going through the whole CTW thing. And it was around that time I wanted to, because I'm a year older than both you guys. And so it was around that time where I said to my mum, I want to start doing this properly. So she turns to me and goes, right, well, if you're going to do it properly, you're going to have to pay for it for yourself. I was like, that's fair. I was in sixth form. The only job I could get was on a Saturday. The only time RWA trained at the time was on a Saturday, so I couldn't go. But we did actually get me into the workforce. So pros and cons.
Swings and roundabouts.
And then it was my good buddy Dan Evans messaged me and saying, "Oh, there's a company called Infinite Promotions who are opening a training school in St Helens." I was like, "Oh, well, that's a lot closer to me. Of course, I'm going to go." And the head trainers at the time were Kieran McConnell, who's still there, who's now the full owner, and Zach Gibson, who co-founded the company with him. And I had a couple of training sessions with Zach, which was really cool. But then I did that for about 3 months, and then I went off to uni, which was in Leeds, and I didn't continue with it. I think I'd messaged a couple of people about gyms and stuff around the area. I think I even messaged El Ligero about getting a lift over to Hull for NGW training, and nothing came of that of my own accord. And so I just and I think it was like 3 months into uni, I was really missing being around the wrestling, like just missing the banter and stuff like that. And so my other saviour, which was Disco Burt Fabulous, messaged me saying, "Oh, there's a gig in Coventry going. If you want a ring announcing gig in Coventry, if you want to do it." I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." First match I ever ring announced was... Giving me a fucking life story here. Sorry, guys. First match ever ring announced. Actually, let's talk first matches since we got to there, because that's where it all began for me. So let's talk first matches, because that's...
First matches. Okay, I'm going to use the example we had on the youth show. So the first match I ever had was a handicap match. It was me and then Vicarian.
Yeah.
Against Bullet.
Oh, right, okay.
Wasn't too bad. I mean, for a first match, I thought I did alright.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't anything particularly special.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose it did the job.
Yeah, fair.
What it was meant to do.
It's fair enough. Alex?
My first match was with one of my best friends in wrestling. I would say it was against Bryony, Lucy Sky.
Mm-hmm.
We knew we worked really well together in training. I'd say we have quite good in-ring chemistry, me and Bryony. I think the fact that we're really good friends, we know that we can just go out there and kill each other. And it actually came up on my Facebook memories the other day saying, 1 year ago today you had this came up, and it was my first ever match that I had, and it was a singles match at Winsford. And I was watching it back and I was thinking, holy shit, this is really good. For a first match, I was buzzing. So me and Bryony have just ended our pretty much year-long feud.
We'll come to this.
Just last week, and we actually used the exact same finish.
Oh,
from our
that's
very
cool.
first match.
I do like that.
To the match that we've just had, just for hashtag memories. And
that's cool. That's
Throwback
cool.
Thursdays and
Yeah,
all that jazz.
We'll come on to more about that in a sec. My first match was between Drew Parker and Damien Dunn, who are both doing rather well for themselves. And my first thing that happened was I'd gone round everyone beforehand asking names and stuff. I don't have a clue who anybody else was apart from Dan and Bert. I don't have, so I went round asking people, blah, blah, blah. The two people who I didn't ask was Drew and Damien. So I was like, right, shit. So one of them walks through the curtain and I announce him, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first is Damien. Stop. Drew stops midway down the ramp, turns at me and just shakes his head. And I just go, that's not Damien Dunn, that's Drew Parker. No, that's the wrong part. That's my first ever announcement was a cock up. So then I announced Damien Dunn to the ring. Damien Dunn starts talking some crap, and Drew Parker says, well, this is actually a triple threat match because Pete's joining us. My first ever ring announcing match was a triple threat between Drew Parker, Damien Dunn, and Pete Dunne.
Oh my god!
That's my claim to fame at the moment. Which I think is and it was as far as I can remember. But yeah, that's first matches. So let's talk recent successes. I'm going to throw to Alex to start us off here because hello. Well, yeah. So go ahead, talk about recent successes.
Well, 2 days ago.
Ooh.
I cashed in a contract that yours truly, as Hazel here, helped me win.
Cheeky.
At Night of Memories in February this year. Mm-hmm. And I beat Nicola Hyde for the RWA Women's Championship.
Oh, hey.
Just recently as well, in...
It was a couple of months, last month, wasn't it?
Yeah, last month. I won the Alpha Omega Women's Championship at Golden Chance in Morecambe.
Tell us about your because they've already announced your next match defending this. Tell us who that's against.
So I have issued a challenge as the champion to prove my worth, kind of thing, against all 4 former Alpha Omega Women's Champions,
and they are.
So that includes me. In a fatal 4-way match against Lana Austin, Felony, and Viper.
Bloody hell. Piper Niven, for anyone who's listening in the States. Mae Young Classic competitor. Did she get to the semis or something, did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, semi-finalist.
Yeah.
No, quarter-finalist.
Yeah, she got to out by...
Tony. A hell of a match. But yeah.
And also, I just want to put out a thingy. I had a very good match against Rio at PCW's Gal Power 2. That was my best match to that date. But just recently in the match where I won the...
You'd say that was your best title, so far?
Me and Bryony, when
Lucy
we had
Sky.
Lucy Sky, sorry for kayfabe purposes, had the match of our lives. Because my family came all the way from Hull to watch me, and I personally think that it was my milestone having a match.
Do you guys find that the pressure helps you perform more?
You can do.
Do you guys?
I was crumbling on. I was a nervous wreck on Saturday. I want speaking to anyone. I want having a laugh with anyone like I normally am. I was real serious. And even when the crowd was going, I was that nervous, and I could see my mum and dad in the crowd, and I could see them cheering. I could see the mouth moving. I couldn't hear anything. I was deaf.
Wow.
It literally felt deaf. It wasn't until we went for the superplex. We had a spot where we went for the superplex, and I hit her with a crossbody instead. That I was shit. This has been good. And I think Andy, our coach, just looked at us and gave us a nod of approval, as if to be that was good girls.
Nice.
So I was really proud of that. That was a little accomplishment for me, because it was the best match I've ever had. So,
Pete, what would you say the best match you ever had was?
My actual best match? There's 2 that come to mind this year that I've had really good. One I had in May with Tammy Hayden
Oh yeah, that was so good.
I'll get on to why that was also good in a minute. And one I had last month, maybe a month before, against Bullet, which was for the RWA heavyweight title. I was unsuccessful, but nevertheless, it was still a really nice match.
Yeah,
it was
cool,
really
man,
good.
cool. So I don't know what the best match, because for me, it's a lot broader, because for me it would be the best match I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there was a steel cage match between Joey Hazen, Danny Hope, and Liverpool. That was good. There was a match at the last BWP show between Sonna Durson and Mark Morgan, and oh my god, that was a great match. There's literally too many. I don't think, without sitting down and watching all the previous shows from just doing BWP, I don't think I could pinpoint the best match I've ever seen. I'm often this is the thing, is I get asked like after the show by several people, like, what was the best match, and I genuinely, like, because I'm so caught up in it all, especially since I've been on commentary, of just saying what I'm seeing and not really thinking about what's going on,
you don't take it
and only just reacting to what's going on. I'm not really thinking about, because the way I see it as a commentator, is your job to make the match sound like it's $1,000,000.
Yeah.
Which is so hard to do when the fans aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
You do not realise, like, well, I mean, I'm sure you guys do. That was a terrible thing to say to two other wrestlers. I could say I'd get away with that if I was on A Few Good Marks. I could have gestured to the rest of the panel, but no, we're as I'm sure you'd agree, it's so much harder to like get into a match if the crowd aren't into either one of you or into the match either.
Yeah, definitely.
Makes it, people don't realise how much of a difference that makes. So, we've kind of talked about best matches, but let's talk about moments in general.
Who's doing recent success?
Were you not done?
He didn't do it.
Oh, of course, Pete. Well, we're all about recent successes, we're all about best matches, of course, recent successes. So, Pete, what were your recent successes?
So, my most recent title win was the RWA Next Level title, which I won back in January.
You still holding that?
No. I lost it after 2 weeks.
Oh.
I knew it was going to happen though.
That's fair.
So it was alright. But since then I've had, as I say, the 2 matches I mentioned before with Bullet and Tommy, which I'm proud of.
Any other titles?
Titles I've won before that are the tag team titles at RWA, which I've held twice with Abaddon, and I was also the Youth Showcase Champion, which was the first belt I won.
I remember that, because I remember going around and holding it.
2015 I won that, and I held it for 315 days.
That's very impressive. That is very
I
impressive.
was one short of holding it like a year.
Oh,
so close.
So close.
But it was like the Night of Memories night show, so fair enough. That's the face one.
Yeah. Send them home happy. I guess I'm really obviously I'm ringing out, so I don't get titles, but I got to hold and present the Just Do title in the first ever match for it between Mark Morgan and Bubblegum, which was also a really good match. So that was cool. I also get to I'm like the bearer of the gold whenever like there's a match on. I just get to rest it on the table and just like watch over it and hand it back to I get to do the this is completely stealing from my own Facebook here, but I get a literal title run every time that the ref asks for the goal back after the end of the show. So I run from the commentary table to the ring with the titles. That's about as exciting as my life gets in terms of titles. But I would say personally, my coolest moment most recent success moment would be going on to commentary. I've only done a couple of shows on it, but it's really enjoyable, and I think that's kind of like the new aim, is to do more of that. So let's go on to best moments, which we talked about best. Is there any like particular spots in a match or in training with people or meeting people that have been particularly standout moments?
If we're kind of crossing this over the best / coolest moment, I think mine was the night I had that match with Tommy,
Mm-hmm.
we had Dr. Tom Pritchard over.
Oh wow.
So I essentially got to have a match in front of him, and I also cut like a promo before the match.
Yeah.
For like other extenuating reasons, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But after the match, Dr. Tom was going out to have like a main event 8-man tag.
Mm-hmm.
But like he stopped me and said, "I can tell when you get into gimmick that you really get into character."
That's
and
cool.
That's really good.
That is cool.
That is really cool.
And I remember you saying as well, he was apparently putting me over a lot.
Yeah, he was. He was putting you over
Our
at the
trainer
club.
Andy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That is really cool. I just can't stop saying cool. Alex, what's your coolest / best moments?
Well, obviously, Dr. Tom coming over praising us. Obviously, Pete got a lot of praise. I thought that was really cool. And the fact that I even got to wrestle in front of Dr. Tom Pritchard. I've also wrestled. Like, I think I work best in training with Pete. We work really well together.
Mm-hmm.
We have really, like, if we was both females and one of us was
male.
male, and one of us was a face, we would have like the best matches ever, like legit.
Mm-hmm.
And we've like wrestled we've done like drills together in front of like Dave Taylor and Rick Rogers. And I remember we did this thing where Dave Taylor taught us like 4 different drills, and then we had to put them together as a 5-minute sequence, so as a match kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we went together in the match, and everybody sort of did it the same way, and I think we was the only people that finished on, I think it was the crossbody that we finished on, the international crossbody.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else started with the international crossbody.
Right.
And he really
You
praised
just
us, didn't
mixed
he?
it
Because
up
he
a
was
bit.
like, you're the first people to mix it up, and then everybody copied us who went after that, didn't they?
Bastards.
Another cool moment I had was I was in a faction, the Young Guns, before I actually turned heel, with Trent Zaffix and Conor the Bullet Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
And them two was like a really over tag team.
Yeah.
Everybody loved them. And I split them up.
You bitch.
And Trent's mum, I know her really well, like personally. She used to come watch the shows and she used to like really boo me and stuff. And when I eventually turned heel, I came out cutting a promo saying, "Oh well, I can't believe you didn't see it coming. Trent saw it coming. Even Trent's mum saw it coming." And then that started out with a chant where everyone started going, "Trent's mum, Trent's mum, Trent's mum." And then later on in the night, my friend Jack Blower, he was like a masked man. He was wrestling under a mask, and the whole gimmick was that he was going to get unmasked for this show. And he got unmasked, and he was like hiding his face at first to the crowd, and then when he turned round, everybody was going, "Trent's mum, Trent's mum." And then when he revealed that it wasn't Trent's mum, they all went, "Aww." And
Well, you've essentially, as cool as that story is, you killed that guy's push entirely.
Yeah.
Well played.
But it was just really funny getting Michelle her own little chant.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. Yeah, cool. Personally, I don't know. I mean, I've been in the ring with quite a couple of guys who've now gone on to bigger, better things, both with Pete Dunne. I've been in the ring with Tyler Bate, Jack Gallagher, T-Bone, a number of the World of Sport guys, like CJ Banks, Zach Gibson, Ashton Smith. Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to... You know what? I really wish I'd done what you guys done. I actually thought about this now. Trying to think on the fly is a lot harder than I thought it would be. But no, never mind. I think we'll wrap this one up here. But before we go, since it's the first ones, let's set 1-year goals and then 5-year goals. Because why not?
Ooh.
Now that one does put you on the spot.
Oh. Okay.
Do you want me to go first? What do you guys think? Because mine's relatively easy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to be working for at least, within a year, I want to be working for at least 5 companies. I work for technically only one at the moment because I think Just Do haven't done a show in quite a while, and I think they're no more, maybe, I don't know. So at the moment I really only work for one company, so working for 4 more should be doable. And in the next 5, I don't know, is it too much of a goal to be say within 5 years I want to be working WWE with what I'm doing? Who knows? If this WWE UK thing takes off, who knows? That could be my end.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who wants to go first?
Go ahead. So within 1 year, well, as of recording, the next show we have at RWA is the Rumble in Runcorn, which is our very own Royal Rumble, essentially. So, I guess a goal is to, of course, win that.
Yeah.
Well, but also to win the RWA heavyweight title would also be an aim in the next year. In the next 5, I guess something similar to yours. I think in the next 5, I at least want to have made a TV appearance in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that be like WWE UK thing
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. But hopefully that's achievable in 5 years.
Absolutely. Coops.
So I've already worked for 4
Mm-hmm.
companies so far, which would be RWA, Alpha, WrestlePro, and PCW. So next year I'd like to work for another, just one. Just so I can say I've worked for 5.
Mm-hmm.
5's a good number.
Mm-hmm.
In the next 5 years, I'd like to have worked a lot more
Mm-hmm.
companies in the UK, and essentially I would like to make it to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also like for us to get us, because we're only a thing in RWA. I would
Get
be
more
very
bookings
happy
outside.
if us two, as the Deadly Duo kind of thing,
Yeah.
got onto a different promotion.
That'd be
I think
cool.
that'd be cool. I'd like to do that in the next 5 years.
That's all cool. Well, there you go. Book us. Book us all! If you're listening, thank you very much for listening. Hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you soon. This has been Curtain to Curtain. We'll see you soon.